Okay, let's dive right into this. If you're one of the millions of people who has to get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, you've probably just chalked it up to, a weak bladder or getting older. But what if I told you the real problem has nothing to do with your bladder? What if it's actually a sleep problem? We're going to break down exactly why this happens and, way more importantly, how you can actually fix it. I mean, seriously, think about it. How many times was it last night? Once? Twice? Maybe you've lost count. It's one of the most common frustrations, and so many of us just kind of accept it as a fact of life. But it's not normal, and it's actually a huge clue about something deeper that's going on inside your body. You see, the actual trip to the bathroom, that's not the real issue. The real villain here is what it does to your sleep. Every single time you wake up, you are completely shattering your sleep cycles. And this constant interruption kicks off this whole cascade of negative health effects that go way, way beyond just feeling a little groggy the next day. And this is just how serious that cascade is. We're not just talking about being tired. When you're constantly waking up, your metabolism can slow down, which makes it way harder to manage your weight. It jacks up cortisol, that's the stress hormone we all know is linked to belly fat. It can even raise your risk for type 2 diabetes. And that brain fog you feel? That's your brain literally struggling because it didn't get that deep, uninterrupted sleep it needs to clean itself out. It truly impacts everything, your focus, your memory, even your mood. All right, so if this isn't just about getting older and it's not really a bladder problem, then what in the world is going on? Why is your body waking you up like this? Well, the answer comes down to one very specific and very powerful hormone. Think of it like this. Your body has a natural water switch that's supposed to flip on the moment you go to sleep. And this switch is controlled by a hormone that basically tells your body, hey, hold on to your water, we need to sleep through the night without any interruptions. And that hormone is called Anti-Diuretic Hormone, or ADH. Now the name sounds kind of technical, but it's really simple. Anti means against, and diuretic is just a fancy word for something that makes you pee. So this is your anti-pee hormone. Your brain releases it at night to tell your kidneys to just slow down and hold on to water until the morning. It's absolutely essential. So in a perfect world, here's how it works. You fall asleep, and your brain sends out this ADH signal. It's this beautiful, natural rhythm that's designed to keep your body perfectly in balance all night long. That signal gets to your kidneys, and they get the message loud and clear. Reduce urine production. The result? You stay asleep, you stay hydrated, and you don't wake up until your alarm goes off. But for so many of us, that switch is failing. So, why does this switch fail? The problem really starts when something gets in the way of that ADH hormone. When it can't do its job, the off switch for urination just doesn't work, and your bladder keeps filling up. There are two main culprits behind this whole mess: your blood sugar and your mineral balance. Okay, first, let's talk about blood sugar. There is a super simple rule in your body. Water follows sugar. It's that simple. So, if you have high blood sugar, your body goes into overdrive trying to flush out all that excess sugar. And as that sugar gets flushed out through your kidneys, it drags a ton of water along with it for the ride. And that, of course, dramatically increases how much you have to pee. Now, the second major problem is a mineral imbalance, specifically way too much sodium and not nearly enough potassium. And this is incredibly common today. So too much salt forces your body to flush it out. And how does it do that? With more water. At the exact same time, potassium is the key that helps your kidneys even listen to that ADH hormone in the first place. So if you don't have enough potassium from foods like leafy greens or avocados, your kidneys just don't get the memo, no matter how much ADH your brain is sending their way. So these underlying issues are often set off by some really specific everyday habits, especially the things we all do in the few hours before we go to bed. These are the things that are directly messing with that delicate hormonal balance. All right, let's run through the top offenders. Alcohol is a huge one. It directly suppresses ADH. Caffeine, from coffee, tea, even chocolate, is a diuretic, so that one's pretty obvious. But it's not just about drinks. Eating a big protein-heavy meal or any kind of sugar or starch late at night can spike your blood sugar, and then you get that waterfall of sugar problem. And all of this brings us to probably the biggest habit you need to break. If there is one thing you take away from this, let it be this. The source material is crystal clear that snacking at night, especially on things with carbs, salt, or sugar, is the absolute worst offender. It's like the perfect storm. It spikes your blood sugar and throws your minerals out of balance all at once. But here's the good news in all this. The solution isn't some complicated medical procedure. It's actually pretty simple. By just understanding what's triggering the problem, you can take some really direct steps to get your body's natural rhythm back on track and finally sleep through the night. So here it is, your action plan. It's a really straightforward checklist. First, no alcohol in the evening, and try to stop all fluids about 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Cut out the salty meals at night, and this is the big one, no snacking after dinner, period. Try to reduce sugar and carbs in the evening, and maybe shift that big protein meal to earlier in the day. And while you're at it, start adding in more potassium-rich foods to help get that mineral balance back. Now, just one quick side note. If your problem is a little different, like you get this super strong, urgent feeling you have to go, but then very little actually comes out, that might point to more of a nerve-related issue. In that specific case, the source suggests looking into vitamin B1 and magnesium, because they're both so important for the nervous system's control over the bladder. And that's really what it all boils down to. This isn't about just managing a symptom, it's about fixing the root cause. This isn't a bladder problem, it's a hormonal and a metabolic one. The moment you address the triggers, the sugar, the salt, the late night habits, you let your body's natural water switch do its job again. You fix the cause, and your sleep stays uninterrupted. So what's one little change you could try making tonight?